Effectively recording.
You're in deep trouble now. Come here. I got what it takes.
Hydrate.
Won't steal my leads. You learning them? I got what it takes, lady. You're working my last nerve. This is what happens. Ryan's Goon Squad.
Yeah, you all can kill each other. I'm just passing through.
You never respected me.
Are we not going to find out who is in the Sunbird? It's gonna drive me crazy.
I actually don't think so. Because like I read through the wiki and I didn't see anything about it.
Motherfucker. That's annoying.
Yeah. They hint they always hint at stuff and then there's nothing but disappointment.
Oh my god.
Together, we'll remake. Gone. Life's too short for this.
I'm just...
Who the hell are you?
Hello.
There she is.
I just read some stuff about the ending of story, let's see. Because I wanted to figure out how close we are to the ending.
Whoa.
I'll make sure nobody messes her hair on that pretty head. Gonna make short work. Don't think you can hide.
We must be close to the end, right?
I think so.
I wonder how they're going to conclude it. Like,
Well, I know.
it feels like the way it doesn't feel like a story ending here.
Look around.
Yeah.
Come on, let
The
me...
rest of Atlas's crew are barricaded up there.
That's why I started reading what the ending is, because I wanted to get a feeling for how close we are.
Yeah.
Louie. Hey, if you don't get down here soon, there's not gonna be an ounce of booze or a piece of ass for the taking. Sometimes I think you've taken this whole Robin Hood business a bit too much to heart.
Louis.
You guys out there ladling soup for the purpose of building an army.
Oh my
Share the
god.
milk of human kindness. You keep up this kind of behavior, I'm gonna start thinking there's more red in you than Karl Marx. What? The hell? Splicers. Busting me! Horwitz! Telephone came to perimeter compromise!
I know nobody lays a hand on you.
You wanna know something funny?
Had any principles?
No.
You wouldn't be skulking around.
Well, here I go. The entry about the ending that I'm just reading, the person wrote that Elizabeth's story is their favorite story in all the Bioshock games.
Okay.
I feel hurt. That gave me... Oh.
Come on out. This one's got my full attention. We're not all easy targets, you get me?
Oh, you go on the Bioshock subreddit and on the corners, just Jeremiah Fink wants you to attend the July 6th raffle.
I never thought anyone would be able to bring all these
I don't want to attend the raffle.
disappear from sight. See through walls. Generous splice heads in a line. I gotta hand it to Atlas. After Ryan locked us up in this pit, I thought that was it. Just a long final dive into the abyss. But he's given us hope. Or what passes for it down in Rapture.
Fuck.
When a person's got nothing, hope's about the kindest thing you can give her. Or the cruelest.
Ryan said the girl's gotta die first. I don't know any other than me, pal. I'm not taking the next bullet.
Can't keep running forever. Show yourself.
Bitch. So Ryan is now saying to kill us.
Stupid jerk.
Honestly,
Should've never
good.
stuck his neck out.
I understand.
Shut up, you goddamn twist. Good as dead.
But as dead, you say.
Had any principles, you wouldn't be skulking around. Come Me hunt you down like an animal.
Like an animal.
You're still here, aren't you?
She gone? More
Where are we
power to
going?
you,
Or-
sister.
Oh, do you think the screen is gonna light up? Let's take bets.
Fun's just.
Elizabeth, you know Atlas is going to...
I know,
They would never.
and I'm ready.
Are you sure?
I sent myself here for a reason. Didn't I?
There we
Who
go.
exactly are you speaking to, Miss Comstock? If I were less acquainted with the vicissitudes of genius, I suspect I would question your sanity. I know so little of you, but I imagine the more I learned, the more exceptional I would find you. You know Atlas will betray you.
And what are you? My best friend?
You're one of a kind in this world, or others. And now, your misguided sense of altruism sends you to your doom. It's like watching Isaac Newton die in a house fire, in a vain attempt to save his cat.
Why not do this to save a cat? Don't fuck yourself. Why wouldn't you risk your life to save your cat?
It's just that, like, this entire sentence was again going to the fake deepness. Also, this this hallway is very pretty.
Yes.
I want to live there.
Is this the ending?
There, there, there. All the load-bearing columns come into this room and they meet there. Now just need to place the particle in that junction, activate it, and the whole structure should rise.
I love how she had to follow the bars to where they meet.
There's
While
no
there's
plan
just
B.
this
Might
giant
as well just
circle.
get it over with.
You just look up and you know where the support is.
Okay. Oh, okay. Had to be not on the drawing part, I understand.
Here goes nothing. It's working! Atlas, you feel that? You have your prison break. Now bring me the girl.
Huh? Who the fuck is this?
Great.
Your mom ever teach you not to put your faith in strange foreign
Just
men?
give me the girl. She means nothing to you.
You've got that right. The girl means nothing. But you, love, you mean the world.
Oh, wonderful.
That's actually unrealistic. You don't go to sleep that fast with.
Well, she's very frail.
Yeah, she is. I mean, I would probably go down that fast. The one time I went under.
Well sedated.
Lonnie.
So, it's begun.
The Kashmir's all blown to hell. If Ryan didn't know we were back before, I'm sure now he's got the message.
What do you want with this one?
If anybody's got the line on the ace, it's her. Find out what she knows. But no quackery. She's no good to us with a halo and a set of wings.
I get started as soon as the claw form wears off. Don't see her as too tough a nut.
Is Lonnie who I think it is?
I don't know who you think it is.
Okay, then never mind.
I can tell you that I don't know who Lonnie is.
Okay. Then I am wrong.
Where's the ace in the hole?
Oh, you are right, and I just...
What?
Where's the ace in the hole?
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, we had a deal.
Where is the ace in the hole?
I told you.
Sodium thiopental. Are you familiar? No. Truth serum. Unpredictable stuff. Too little, nothing.
I have
Too
nothing
much.
to tell
The
you.
subject
I don't
is
even know what an ace in the hole is. Ah!
I am still playing with the dosage.
This world values children, not childhood. There's a profit to be made, and men who make it.
We were all plenty scared of Atlas and his thugs, but only a fool counts out the right-thinking folks of Andrew Ryan's rapture.
Oh, I can move.
Atlas's thugs have been pushed out of Point Prometheus. They're on the run in Port Neptune. It's one thing starting a war, Atlas, but finishing one's an altogether different matter. Folks say it's only a matter of time until Atlas's entire mob comes out waving the white flag.
Okay.
2 weeks.
What?
You've been down 2 weeks, love. Feckin' doctors. Better off hiring a million monkeys.
Our deal was to get you out of prison. What, did you expect me to win your war for you too?
I'd tend to your own knitting if I were you. Now, darling, being that you were Su Chong's lab assistant and all, why not tell me where me ace in the hole went to?
I don't know.
As I said, I'm no doctor. But that doesn't mean I don't find the field fascinating. I
God.
keep up on all the medical journals and the like.
I hope you have someone to help you with all the big words.
You know what part of the brain free will comes from? Stubbornness? The prefrontal lobe.
Bruh.
Now, I think it's fair to say you're a bit of a stubborn one, are you not?
Lobotomy time.
A man named Steinman taught me this. He's a bit of a lunatic, but a fine surgeon.
Steinman.
He calls
Oh,
this
no.
trick a transorbital
Are they really doing no
lobotomy.
lobotomy?
Take hold of her, lads.
Bruh.
You're wasting your time.
If you won't remain still,
Bruh.
I can't be held responsible for what comes next.
Bruh.
Here we go.
Mm.
You feel that? I'm moving the pick across your eyeball. Oh, still now. And
Are you,
resting it on your skull.
Yeah? You know, in Dead Space we also have something with eyeballs and needles.
I don't give a fuck back. I don't fucking care about Dead Space right now.
I'm trying to.
Okay, let's continue. Ha. It's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh. There's about a bit over 1/4 of an inch of bone between the pick and your prefrontal lobe. And that's where this little fella comes in.
No.
I don't...
It was just a wee tap. But I don't expect it'll take more than
Stop
a few of those
wiggling
to
it.
reach the meat. And then we might find you a bit less the mule. Where's me ace in
Oh
the
my
hole?
goodness.
don't know.
You know
Right.
what else rests in the lobe? Creativity. Individuality. Personality. In short, what makes you, you.
You know, her groans of pain are very mild for what's
Just
happening
about
right
through
now.
Last chance, pet.
I'm.
Is he sedated?
Where is the ace in the hole?
I mean, a lobotomy is usually done
what?
while the person is
Why do you
still
put a
conscious
hole in my
now.
head and take away my memories?
I don't
You
know
wanna
if your
make
brain
me
can actually
forget
feel pain.
all this. You want to make me not care anymore? Go ahead. You'll be doing me a favor.
Oh! Bring in the monster! You're a regular hero, ain't you? Can't risk ripping
Just
the only
yanked it
part of you
out.
that's worth a damn.
That's yanked it
Well,
out.
there's more than
I can
one
imagine what
way
it
to
feels like
fry
this.
an egg. Now, little woman, are you familiar with the term transorbital lobotomy?
Please let her go.
It's a simple matter. All I need do is
head is
insert
so
this
big.
pick into your eye.
Please, I don't know
And give it a
anything.
few taps with me hammer.
I don't know
Better
anything.
to show by example.
Please, please don't. I don't know anything. I don't know. Please.
Shh, it's okay. It's okay. Listen, it's okay.
I can't tell him what I don't know. Where are we?
You saw all the doors. And what's behind all the doors?
The ace in the hole. It's here.
Yes.
But I don't remember this place.
You've never been here.
Then how would
The memories you lost, they weren't just of the past. You saw behind all the doors.
even the ones into the future? This is where I'm going.
If you want.
I don't like it here.
It's a bad place.
He's never gonna let me go, is he? Even if I bring him the ace. Then why am I here? How if I was so smart? If I saw so much, why just send myself to the slaughter?
For Sally.
No, one day he will just rip her open and tear out her atom. All of this for nothing. Why did I do it? Why?
You have to decide.
Decide what?
To take a leap of faith. I can't tell you what you were thinking because you don't remember. But you chose to come. There. In that room.
The ace. I don't know what to do, Booker. Booker? Booker! No, please. Please just don't leave me here! Booker!
Just to complete.
Suchong's clinic. It's at Suchong's clinic.
That's a bit convenient now. Ryan's got every turret in the place tuned to me and me men's genetic code. We'd be torn to shreds before we got 10 feet.
That's right. Which is why I'm gonna do it for you. You okay with that?
Get me the ace, I'll wrap the brat in a silk ribbon. Bag her and bring her to my bathysphere.
I hated that.
I couldn't tell.
One of the lads will show you how to get inside. We'll be waiting for you where you come out. Shake a leg now. The Lord hates a laggard.
I can't do anything. Alright. What's that? Issue. Hydraulic fluid gases within drill cause up to become unreliable and stable launching option to be removed. Yeah. Let's put on a fucking Big Daddy suit. Hydrate, thanks. Let's put on a Big Daddy suit and just
Yeah. Honestly,
fuck off. Honestly, imprinting solution not found in genetics. Okay. Are all the little sisters? Are all the little sisters injected with our DNA? Elizabeth's DNA.
I would hate that. Why would they? Like, I mean, I'm sure they would find a way. Masha! No.
Move, Big Daddy.
Are you? They
Let's see here what we can
character
do.
from the book. Are you shitting me?
Mr. Monster's mean. Scary. Stay away from him. He's scary.
Look, it's okay. He can't hurt anyone.
Scary.
Shh. Shh. Can you move? Can you just move a little bit for me? Don't. I don't know how to help you. I don't. No, he's just hurt. He just needs somebody to figure out how to fix him. Maybe there's some, I don't know. Is there some documentation for him around here or something? Right. Look who I'm asking.
You've been whispering back, but I can't hear you. What were you saying?
I was just... Wait. Hey, Pumpkin. I was just being mad that they put Marsha in the game. I
Mash?
think one of the little sisters' names was Marsha, and Marsha is a character from the book.
Oh, interesting.
Coded.
I think the other one is
Big
her friend.
Daddy
Oh, nice.
will not imprint. If not imprint, what good is he to little sister? She no like him. He no like her. Situation is impasse. Unacceptable.
Hmm?
If stupid beasts had half brain, they would realize they need little sister to live. Sisters secrete only kind of atom that is genetic match for them. No little sister, no big daddy.
Let's return to Big Daddy.
Scary, 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 scary.
I've got to do something.
Big monster sick. Big monster
It's okay.
sick.
It's okay. Please. I don't know how to help him. He needs Adam. I don't have any of that. I don't know what to
Monster's
do.
going to die. Not fair. We can help. Help.
Put Marsha in the game.
The lion with the thorn in its paw.
I love Big Daddies.
Yeah.
That was cute. Fuck them, but that was cute.
Look, he's just giving me hugs.
Yeah, I love Big Daddies.
You know why I love Big Daddies?
Why?
Because they work hard and play harder. Just kidding. Maybe.
Oh, look at that picture.
Mm.
Who is that?
Who's
huh?
that ugly motherfucking baby? So ugly.
Yeah, who could that be? Never seen that child in my life.
Is your daddy a puppy? She's a baby
Oh no,
puppy.
it's. Listen what it is.
Break her neck for me.
Oh.
What? Break that sweet puppy's
Ah.
neck. No, please. Break that puppy's neck. Would you kindly? No. No. Very good.
Of all the recordings they could have used.
Yeah, they used that one. And also, what I would like to point out, since the game itself is put in the old recordings, is Shu Shong was speaking better English in the first game.
I have written something down to that. I'm
His
continuing to
English
note that.
deteriorated in the third game somehow. I don't know if that has anything to do with the other things we have talked about in the game, but hey,
I will address that later, okay?
his English seems pretty much fine in this old recording from Bioshock 1.
Yeah.
Fancy that. Anyway.
Suchong, of all the things I know this. It is in your power to be a different man. What can Ryan take from us that we have not already sacrificed at the altar of discovery? They are children, little sisters, and yes, they will forget. But you and I won't. The memories of what we have done fade only with the dimming of all lights. Tenenbaum.
For a second, I thought Sushong wrote this letter, and I was like, why is Sushong being so
Mm.
insightful? What?
No, it's Tenenbaum.
Yeah, Tenenbaum, Tannenbaum, Christmas tree.
Dr. Suchong, client Ryan Industries. Very frustrating day. I can't seem to get the damn big daddies to imprint on the little brats. The protection bondage is just not forming.
Oh, look.
Get away. Maybe if I modify the genetic sequence to... sequence to allow for... Get away, you filthy little shit! What? What are you doing? Get back! Get back!
Yeah.
You know what's sad?
What?
Of everything that happened so far in Bioshock Infinite and Buried at Sea, the interactions of the two little sisters and this Big Daddy has been the best.
Yeah.
Like this was cool. This was nice.
This is nice and a nice callback to the first game.
This is good. This is good.
There's the ace.
Professor.
Neat.
What a nice throwback.
This is it. This is the ace in the hole. All the pain and all of the death for this.
Look at them, they're just hugging. Yay! That was a nice time. I'll give them that. Oops.
Also, I just looked up the name of the other little sister. Her name is Lita.
Yeah.
They in the book, Marsha is best friends with the daughter of another character that was mentioned in Bioshock 1, but is more in the books. And they together, I think, got turned into little sisters, unless one of them got out of it, I don't know. They missed an opportunity here. They could have taken both of the children. They're already going that way.
Hey, sister. Over here. Do you have it?
I have it.
Give it over then. I'm keen to get this brat off me hands.
You know what? Andrew Ryan said I was a rube. But he was wrong. I'm not the rube, Atlas. You are. Now, we both know what happens next. Just get it over with.
Well, love, if you insist.
Oh, we're in a plane. Airplane. Is that Jack?
Oh god, I know what they're doing.
What are they doing?
What is this? It's just a bunch of gibberish.
Sabotage. Is she going to sabotage the airplane?
You little whore! Hey! What does this say?
What's up?
It says, would you kindly?
We've got the activation phrase. Now all we've got to do is get that genetic freak of nature on an airplane, and Rapture's ours. Yeah!
I chose Rapture.
I thought she was gonna be the one who gave Jack the gift with the gun.
A man chooses. A slave obeys.
They say to save one life is to save the world entire. It is you who are their savior.
I can see all the doors. And what's behind all the doors. And behind one of them, incredibly, I see him.
Hmm?
Dans ses bras, elle me vole tout bas. Je vois la vie en rose. Il m'a dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours. Et ça me fait quelque chose.
Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui.
Okay.
Il me l'a dit.
Paid in full completed. Oh wow, that's the end. Okay. Okay, first of all, do you have thoughts while I get my thoughts out of the garbage?
I took 3 notes, yes.
Yeah, okay, go.
First note, they again snuck a lot fake tape shit in there. With
Yeah.
like using big words or using like metaphors where none are needed with like the cat and stuff, like blah blah blah. I'm really sad because like this DLC had some amazing visuals. Like I like the like when they were standing in front of the window and stuff like that. And it pains me to see actual good imagery, but then it's so fucking boring. Like I'm not emotionally invested. It's like if it was an interesting story or anything good, I would be sitting here like, oh, cool. Like I would really. It could be so good, but then it just you're sitting there. Oh no, we're having this super like they're really trying to give me like this evil conversation here, blah blah whatever. I just cannot. I cannot like it. And about Sushong's English,
Yeah.
In general, I feel Bioshock Infinite and this DLC have just been more like what we see as stereotypical American, I say. What I would perceive as stereotypes, like it's very bold, like very sexist and racist, you know, and they kind of like Bioshock was very nice. Like I can't find the word right now. That's like gentle, you know. You could play it was a nice experience, and then this game has just it has these undertones even if there's no actual racism or sexism happening, just the way they address people, the way they talk them, and especially now in the DLC, the way like words they use and stuff, it just feels like a completely different word. Like, of course, in Rapture and in the books, especially Splice have always like this sexual undertone.
Yeah.
But it feels like more they're just off the rockers. Like, they're high, they're drunk, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of vibe. And here it's just like everyone is carnally horny for a woman. It's like they are addressing her like, oh yeah, pretty girl and stuff. Like, where does that come from? It's so weird. And then Sushong's English being worse than ever. Because, I mean, now that you've seen the ending, this is like the pre-story to Bioshock 1.
Yeah.
Which I, again, don't get because we already have like the story, how Bioshock 1 came to be down. But whatever. Sense is not a thing that we have here. So, in the span... Now, even now with the recording where Sushong just died, like, how can we stray so far from canon that we change the way like people talk just to make it more racist? It's just like the racist undertones and everything is everywhere in this fucking game.
Yeah, it's
so disgusting and sickening. It's so unnecessary.
I understand it was to a certain point it was intentional to make it racist, because the whole part of the storyline, at least at first, was the racism. But then if you, like we talked about when we finished the main game, if you don't actually have a resolution, and if you just sweep it under the rug in favor of the other plot points that happen, then you are just left with the racist undertones and everything. It's bad, not good. Also, while I understand, if I was a fan of the main story and I played this, I would be like, holy shit, best DLC of the universe, holy fuck. And it is cool, like the callbacks, and with the big dads especially, I cannot not see a big daddy and have my heart melt with all we know about the big daddies. So those callbacks, and especially the Sushong thing, was great. The Sushong, I mean, showing how he died live when we had found that thing in the Bioshock 1. And all of that was really cool. Basically, any callback to the previous games that don't involve the new story are good.
Yeah,
but like this whole we are meant. Elizabeth is the reason Jack starts this whole "would you kindly" thing, and she basically gives Atlas power. I don't know how to feel about that. It's cool, but also it's something like if you give such a crazy amount of power to with the multiple universes and time traveling and blah 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 blah. Okay, fine. I could have come up with this as well. Whatever. Not saying this as a compliment to my intelligence or anything. I'm just saying that when you allow the main story to say, yeah, there are infinite possibilities, we can do whatever. I mean, yeah sure. I don't know.
Yeah,
I like the Andrew Ryan stuff. I liked when he was talking to us, and I really like his presence. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So, my 2 cents on this is, gosh. Gosh. Yeah, to start off with the whole Elizabeth being the reason why all this happened, Bioshock 1, it infuriates me on a deep level, because it's like they made Bioshock Infinite and they hyped Elizabeth up to be this great person, and then they had the audacity to be like, oh yeah, she's the reason why Bioshock 1 exists. Like, fuck you for that again. I feel I hate it, because it is canon that Tenbaum, Souchon, and Frank Fontaine worked together to create Jack.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no reason for anything that happens. And if we give it like the benefit of, yeah, okay, but in this universe, this had to happen, otherwise, whatever. I don't really understand what happened. Like, I saw everything, but the story, the flow was just so weird that nothing of the story really stuck with me.
Yeah.
And it's really sad to see that the best parts of this game, as you said, were the parts they just took from the first game.
Yes.
And it again makes me sad, because sure, I, as a diehard Bioshock lover and everything, I love seeing that shit. Like seeing Martha, I was immediately Marsha. I was even amazed that I immediately recognized the name, because it's also been a hot second since I read the book. But like, Marsha was immediately, oh my god, she was one of the daughters that was friends with McDonough and everything. I was like, oh my god. And immediately I had like, on one hand, I was like, oh cool, a character I know from the book is in the game. But then at the same time, I was like, how fucking dare they put a book with this again? Because this DLC just feels like they push so hard to connect it with the original thing, to tie into the nostalgia, to make you like it.
Yeah.
And I feel abused by that, because of course I will love the interaction, the cute interaction with the Big Daddy, because it's good.
Yes.
Of course I will love seeing Sushan, because it's a callback, and like seeing where Jack was kept and everything. Of course I will love that, because I love Bioshock 1, and I hate that you abuse my feeling of nostalgia and love that I have for the original content to make me like your game, because your game sucks.
Yeah.
It does not feel good to see it.
Yeah.
It feels abusive. I feel abused by this game.
I stand by my, I think I said it last session, my opinion that if this was just a side story with no connection to Infinite's main game, this would have been so much fun. And Elizabeth, without the stupid tear powers that can break lore and everything, it was fun to see her like she was very, smart and capable.
Yeah.
And that was fun to see, like how her brain worked. That was fun. But it's hard to, when you think about everything else, it gets ruined. And also thinking about, I didn't like her in the main game at all. But here she's like a woman. Because, of course, she became a woman once she killed the face of the revolution.
I wanna just jump in here real quick.
Yeah.
Because that's what I thought. Because I remember Elizabeth in the DLC. I remembered her being a more like
cool,
a power woman. She can handle herself and she can do that. And I mean, it went kind of there. But as you also said, it's like, it sucks that in the main game she's like a damsel in distress and a crybaby, and if anything happens that she doesn't like, immediately she's like, nyeh. And then now here she's this sexy power lady who can like stand in for her own. But towards the ending again, she was so, oh Booker, don't leave me. It's like they cannot decide what they want to do with her.
And they cannot decide what to do with Booker either.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like her whole purpose was to find, I don't know, that was, maybe I was completely off the mark, but my impression was that her whole point was to find the Bookers and stop them from existing or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that was, I assumed, I don't know. But then she also loves him and says he's her only friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like she literally killed the last Booker. And then after this Booker died, suddenly she's like, "Oh, Booker,
You felt bad.
come back, I need you."
Yeah.
How did we get here?
It's a mess, and the thing is, it's a mess. But the game's like, well, constants and variables. You see, it's complicated. Well, I don't want it to be complicated. I want it to understand when I'm 3 years old.
Also, I have a question for you, and which also ties again in what I said when we ranted about Infinite in general.
Yeah.
What I said, it's like best example, Cohen's disciples, which all you get a little introduction, and they are characters,
Yeah.
right? And then you asked me who's Lonnie. And I was like, I have no idea who Lonnie is. And I googled him, and he only appears in this DLC as well. And again, they have like scenes where he's standing there looking at you, and you feel like you should know him. He should have some significance, because they're putting him in front of like, oh yeah, here's Lonnie, look.
Yeah.
Look at Lonnie. And you're like, I have no fucking idea who that man is. I know that he was at the beginning with Atlas. He is tied to Atlas.
Yeah.
Even the wiki just says affiliation Atlas. But like, who the fuck is this dude?
Nobody cares enough.
Yeah, it's like the game
Doesn't
pretends
matter.
to give you these deep, interesting characters, but you just don't know who the fuck they are supposed to be.
Yeah. Also, the eye scene. Not a fan.
The what?
The
Oh,
eye
the
scene.
lobotomy.
Yeah.
I
know. Yeah, Dead Space. Stop it.
No, not even that. I like. It's a weird thing to say. I have like a fascination and interest in lobotomy. That's why I was like, oh my god, lobotomy.
Whatever.
No, yeah, but again, I could like from your noises, I could feel this is a scene where you. Even I have a big difficulty with seeing stuff like with skin when people do weird shit and there are just certain scenes that you can kind of feel. Like you see it, and when he like shakes the ice pick,
he was wiggling it.
In your skull. It's like sometimes you can feel it's such a weird experience.
Yeah, it's weird.
It really bothers me again that they use the Bioshock 1 aesthetic for the little sisters. I mean, they didn't even. I think they didn't even take like the Bioshock 1 aesthetic of the little sisters, but they took the aesthetic of what the little sisters looked like in Bioshock 1 on the Gatherer's Garden.
Yeah.
And first off, they look like shit. Sorry, my opinion. They look horrible.
Yeah,
and
they do.
The anatomy is so off. Her head is bigger than almost the entirety of Elizabeth.
And yeah, the proportions are really off.
When Atlas was like with the ice pick on the little sister on Sally, I was like, first off, the angle in which you're holding, you're really gonna do a stick needle in your eye, because that was the eyeball. You put the ice pick for lobotomy over the eyeball, as he said, or sometimes like in the corner. This just looked like you're gonna stab her in the face. And her face was just so big.
Yeah.
Just yeah, I was also Atlas.
Atlas.
You know, fuck Atlas and everything. Obviously. But I feel weird about the way they portrayed him. Like in general. There's like I can't remember if he's really in the book. I don't really think so. So I guess this is a little bit like they're not in the wrong for the way they showed him. I personally, from like just thinking how people saw him, like in general, people didn't think he was Fontaine. He was just like this savior, the leader of the rebellion.
Yeah.
I know Infinite doesn't really like rebellion. They made it quite clear. But he always seemed to me like he would be like a very charismatic, likable guy, because Fontaine is like a little bit of a psychopath, in my humble opinion. And the thing with people like that is they are always like they get their way because they are likable. and it does the fact that Atlas is just straight from the start and asks to you again, it's very much like what they did with Daisy.
Yeah.
And it just rubs me the wrong way again, because I feel like they could have had more interesting if like Atlas would have used his charm again and he was like working with you, not forcing you to work with him. Because
Yeah.
that just, it feels more like an Atlas thing to do, to be like, hey, I'm this cool guy, and you would feel better about trusting him. And I guess you cannot really do that in this game because people already know who he is, but
Yeah, though it would also have been cool if, like, you, the player, know if you played the first game, but Elizabeth doesn't know.
yeah, and since this game is also not that heavy on you can make decisions,
yeah,
wouldn't care. They could just show you, you know what's going to happen, but you have to watch her go through it.
It has to happen because you're dead.
Yeah. It's just, again, they had chances and they didn't took it. I guess, again, that is just like a personal thing. And I want to say again, like, if you, the watcher, are able, if you are able to like play these games and you like it, more power to you. I wish I wish I would like it, because I would love to have another Bioshock that I like, and not a Bioshock that drives me closer to the grave every time I think about it.
Yeah.
Because like there's so much potential in this, and they did not only miss the mark, they just jumped. Like, they invented new universes to miss the mark as much as possible.
Yeah.
It
And
is
then
insane.
they use the old universes for cool, like, Easter eggs and stuff.
It's like the only good things in this game were the things they stole. Come
I
on.
mean, it's not stealing, but
Yeah, but like not every new idea they had, they fucked up. Are you tracing the
yes, I'm tracing everything.
flower? Yeah. It's like it's just, even after playing the first game, it's not like we're oblivious to what they're doing and we're trying and everything. Because you said it and I said it, or I thought it was like, when you come and find out the stuff about Daisy, your initial instinct is to be like, oh, like that is a cool plot twist. But since they fucked it up so bad, it's hard to appreciate it as a like, oh my god, she was actually helping or like good, because
Yeah.
it just looks like in trying to save face.
Exactly, yeah. I
It's
agree
like
with that.
a lot with this game is just like, it could be good, but after what we witness, it's just like like with the
Disingenuous.
like with the guy at the beginning of Burial at Sea, like with the shoe shine.
Yeah.
It's just like, you, if it wasn't Bioshock, if there weren't, if this wasn't a game about racists, then I would just look at that and think nothing of it. It's just a guy with a
Yeah.
job and another guy who uses the service. But since I now seen it, I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Look, we are
Yeah.
so. It's just
Context matters.
in this, especially in this game.
Yeah.
It's like I can excuse like what I had in my memories if it was just like hints at racists, and even if it was just a little bit and then not addressed, I wouldn't be that mad. But since it was just everything, it cannot be ignored, and it suffers heavily from that, because as much as I want to and as much as I tried to find anything that I like in this DLC, which is why I resorted to, oh, this hallway looks nice. Like, I'm at the point where I just see a hallway and like, oh my god, this is a pretty hallway.
Yeah.
Like, I really tried. I feel like a hater, but I really, really tried to find things that I like in this game. And
Okay.
it's so hard.
Yeah. So, for me to conclude, now that finally, there were some ups, there were some downs, and finally, I can say that I've played all the entire Bioshock series, DLCs and all. So, my impression of Bioshock Infinite was not good. The DLC, I must admit that the cool like callbacks and stuff really did, like the big dads and stuff, kind of warmed me up. But the main game, I did not like. I did not like what they changed. If we compare as a game on its own, it had some good parts, but it also had some bad parts. Like if I was not streaming it, I did not really have to finish it, I probably would have dropped it because long combat moments and stuff like that were a turn off. And I'm saying this is somebody who loves combat in games. It's just that if it's like forced, oh, you turn around and suddenly you get attacked for 20 minutes and you get lost while trying to find the last enemy, that's not fun to me. So yeah, some good story moments, but then it all falls apart. DLC was okay from those moments we discussed. And as for the entire series, the first two games were really good. The world was really good. I liked the story of the first one better. The second one, it improved on some things, but it's the story of the first game that sticks with you, I think. Also, the DLC for the second game, Minerva's Den, was also really, the twist was fantastic. Also something that stays with you. So yeah, it's a really good story-driven series. But if you like Infinite, that's fantastic. If you don't, in my opinion, perfectly valid, especially if you're coming from the first two games. It's a shame that it looks like we won't be seeing more in this universe, or we will, I don't know, but it doesn't look like it, because this is an interesting world and it would have been nice to see more in Rapture, not Colombia. Fuck Colombia.
Yeah, fuck Colombia. Burn in hell.
Yeah. In fact, the Comstock Elizabeth storyline, honestly, burn it, burn that. And yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Yeah. I agree, obviously, Infinite, we don't need to talk about this. I really like the first games, obviously. I totally agree. Like, I think Bioshock 2 is an amazing game, but the first story is just so memorable. It's just like, no matter when you get into the game, the first story will immediately be a classic, because it's just Bioshock is just such a classic game, and you just play it.
Yeah.
No matter how old the graphics are, you just go through it and it's like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah. And so story heavy and solid. And even the DLC barrier, let's see, if you notice, it only touches on what happens in the first game, Bioshock 1. And to be honest, it takes me a second to remember what happens in Bioshock 2, because it's one that's like, oh, it's about Jack, and Wuju Kaini, and Shushong, Andrew Ryan, blah, blah, blah. All of the memorable stuff feels like it comes from the first game.
Yeah. Yeah, but Bioshock 2 to me is more of a it's a nice sequel.
Yeah.
Like, it's a nice it's not a bad experience at all. It's a very good game.
Yeah.
It's just a well-made sequel.
Yeah.
You know, it has an interesting story, fun characters and everything again. It's a nice game.
Yeah.
It's not Bioshock 1, but it's like most, if not all, game series, it will always like be the first game that's like the hit, and then everything after is just like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Can be a hit, can be a miss.
there was a huge upgrade in like the budget, you could see it, and there were decisions and stuff, and like cool points. But yeah, the first game was the one that makes you a fan, honestly.
It just feels like also Bioshock 1 and 2, I think there was like a lot of love put into it, because back then games were very minimal, like you could not do a lot with games, like graphics wise and everything. And I mean, Bioshock was praised for its graphics and everything back in the day.
Yeah.
It was super, super good. The voice acting was amazing and all that.
Yeah.
It's just, you can feel there's so much love and thought put into the game. The people just, like, they knew their shit. And Bioshock Infinite just really suffers from, I think, like a direction, because despite all the content and like the topics handled in Infinite, one of the biggest issues with this game is the pacing. Like gameplay, I think like this stuff can be forgiven. I also have this with like there was a movie I watched. It has a great story, great visuals, everything's great, but the pacing is so bad that the watching it's just not enjoyable, because your brain doesn't have time to really think of what just happened, to remember things. Pacing can fuck you over so bad in games, and I think if they just had spent some I don't know, thought on that, balanced it a little more, this game could have actually been better.
It definitely perhaps wouldn't have felt like at some points having to force yourself through everything if it was paced differently.
I mean, I am also a person, I hate dropping a game. I sometimes do it by accident because I just don't play for a while, but there was like a game where I was stuck at the final boss for like 9 hours, and I'm not even like, I legit was stuck for 9 hours, and I almost destroyed my entire self and everything I own. I was so mad, but I was like, hey, okay, there has been many times in this game where I've been mad, but afterwards I always felt very rewarded because the game was just great, and you felt rewarded by the game. And Bioshock Infinite was a game, when I finally got to the final boss, I was so exhausted that I was like, this is not worth it.
Yeah, like fuck it.
The game is not worth finishing. I was so close. I was at the final boss with the songbird, and I dropped it. I went through all of this, and it was not worth it to finish it for me.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah, especially since the final boss is like a horde protecting thing. It's not good. It's frustrating.
Yeah, and seeing you also only made it like by split hair.
Yes.
Like, it was so close, and that was always like, I think I tried the final boss over multiple days, like always a few hours, and it was every single time I died just a second before I finished it, apparently, because I always got like, it was always so close, and I was also playing on easy. It's just, call me a bad gamer, I know I'm not good at video games, but I think if you want, I think a lot of people also only like this game because they're like, oh, it's Bioshock, it's good, of course, and they feel like they cannot say anything negative about it because it's Bioshock. Because I've seen that with other game series as well. Something that's so classic, you don't want to be like, oh no, it's good, you know?
Yeah.
It's Bioshock, it can't be bad. But it is.
Well,
yeah.
I think it's good also that I came from it like completely fresh, and you are revisiting it after a huge gap that made you like see it with fresh eyes as well. I think it helped so we could have these discussions that are very interesting, I think. But now, on that note, we can move on with our lives.
Yeah. I just want to say, I'm so happy that you played the Bioshock series, because I mean, I have made it clear by now how much like I love Bioshock. I've loved it since I was small. It's such a
small.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
And now you have played it, and it feels just great to know that you have experienced this world and that you like it. It's so nice to see that you liked it, and I wish you would have enjoyed Bioshock Infinite. I feel super validated now with my hatred towards it, but like, it's a shame. I wish this it would have been great if this was a good experience, but
yeah, and
it
I
is what
did
it is.
try.
Yeah, like you did it to the end. Even I said in between, like, you don't have to finish it, but you did. And I think that just like, if anyone is watching this right now or like seeing this on YouTube, Cat is a person, they play shit. They play every fucking thing. Sometimes like you played Backrooms for me.
I did.
You don't play horror games and you played Backrooms for me, and I appreciate that so much. Like
Well,
I don't know if I told you that, but I appreciate it so fucking much. It means a lot to me that you're doing this for me.
it's fun to experience stuff with friends.
Yeah, also I think it's like easier to do that stuff with friends.
Yeah.
But in general, it's just like you don't give up. You did it to the end. I mean, we did it together. And you looked even to the end. I think what you're saying, like how you reviewed this, very fair. Because of course there's a lot of negative things on our hearts, but still, I try. I don't know how good I am, but from what I see, like you can still see the good things in it.
Yeah, I tried because honestly, it's a shame because there are good things.
Yeah,
but
it's just hard to for me, especially since I'm also very emotionally invested. I know that I try to be fair, but with you, I feel like you are fair when it comes to because you came from a like new player.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we did it.
We did
You
it. Yeah.
played every Bioshock game.
Yeah.
Looked into every DLC.
Yes.
My favorite DLC in Bioshock Infinite so far was the Columbia's Finest because of all the hats and shirts and pants and pants and hats.
Pants, hats.
Absolutely insane.
So many pants. And did you know
God.
that you can press O?
Yeah, press
to get
O
your
to
objectives.
open the in-game menu.
That was the best point for me.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you stuck through all of that, why? But thank you. But why? But thank you. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope I'm hoping that if you really like the Infinite, that our criticism did not do anything to hinder that love for the game, because honestly it shouldn't matter what we think. If you enjoy the game, our opinion doesn't matter on that front. Enjoy what you enjoy. So I hope you can take everything we say, with a grain of salt when it comes to that. And I really hope you enjoyed. Of course, feel free to comment below about your opinion. Maybe you also played it in the past. I don't know your opinion about that stuff. And you can subscribe to the channel. Please do, in fact, to help my little channel on YouTube. You can also follow on Twitch to be notified on when I go live. Follow my Twitter to get a heads up and all that cool stuff. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.